beyond belief. 10. Grammar modals of deduction. Vocabulary phrasal verbs, out and up reading my solo wedding. Everyday English expressing attitude. Listening the man who posted himself to Australia writing a story. 2. Watch the video introduction. Use your workbook for self-study. 1. Look at the photo. What's happening? What do you think the people are celebrating? 2. Read the quote. What should you do before you believe something? Opening parenthesis. Question mark. Believe nothing just because you have been told it. Buddha. Go online for more practice and to check your progress. 99. Starter. Grammar must be, can't be, looks like. Dot. Dot. Work with a partner. Look at the optical illusions. Optical illusions, can you find? Dot. Dot. Question mark. Dot. 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 4 people. Dot. Dot. 4 animals. Dot. Dot. A soldier. Dot. 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 2 earrings. Dot. 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 A parallel bar. Dot. 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 2 words. Dot. 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 4 shelves. Dot. 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 A candlestick. 6. Good. 7. 8. What do you see? 1. A man and a woman are talking about the optical illusions. These lines are from their conversation. Which illusion do you think each refers to? A. It looks like a rabbit to me. B. It might be a horse. C. There can't be 4 shelves. D. It doesn't look parallel. E. He could be looking straight at me. F. It must be a soldier. G. It looks like a skeleton. It can't be a lady. H. It may be a candlestick. 210.1 Listen to the complete conversation. Work with a partner and, as you listen, point to the picture they are talking about. Which ones can't the woman see? Filled circle grammar spot. 1. Which sentence is the most sure? Which are less sure? It must be a horse. It could be a horse. It may be a horse. It might be a horse. 2. The above sentences all mean I think it's possible that it is a horse. What does "it can't be a horse" mean? 3. Compare the sentences in A and B. After look like. Do we use an adjective or a noun? A. It looks like a rabbit to me. You look like your mother. B. It doesn't look parallel. You look hot and tired. 4. Look at the example of be plus ing. This is the continuous infinitive. He could be looking at me. Which 2 other examples did you hear in the conversation? Grammar reference 10.1 to 10.2. Fact or fiction? Practice. Fact or fiction? 1. Work with a partner. Do you believe these statements are true or false? Use modal verbs in your comments. Discuss your ideas with the class. 1. Sunflowers turn to follow the sun. That must be true. That's why they're called sunflowers. I'm not so sure. It might be because they look like the sun. 2. The milk of a hippopotamus is pink. 3. Salt water boils quicker than fresh water. 4. Ducks' quacks don't echo. 5. A toilet flush rotates in a different way depending on which hemisphere you are in. 6. Hurricanes always have girls' names. 7. Elephants can't jump. 8. Too much sugar makes children hyperactive. 9. Fish have a 3-second memory. 210.2 Listen and check your ideas. Do you learn anything that surprises you? Grammar and speaking. 3. Write the responses to these lines using the words in brackets. Work with a partner. Take turns to read the lines and respond. 1. I think I've lost my passport. Opening parenthesis. Must. Worried. You must be very worried. 2. Your phone's ringing. Opening parenthesis. Might. My mum. 3. Paul's taking his umbrella. Opening parenthesis. Must. Rain. 4. Gary's car isn't in the drive. Opening parenthesis. Can't. At home. 5. Lara's not in class. Opening parenthesis. Could. Coffee bar. 6. Look. 3. Fire engines. Single quote opening parenthesis. Must. Somewhere. 7. Whose jacket is this? Single quote opening parenthesis. Might. John's. 8. You got top marks in the test. Single quote opening parenthesis. Must. Joke. Closing parenthesis. Guess what they are talking about. 410.3 Listen to 5 short conversations and guess the answer to the questions. Give reasons for your conclusions. 1. Where do you think the people are? At home? In a restaurant? In a pub? A glass of dry white wine and a mineral water, please. B. Still or sparkling? A sparkling, please. B. Do you want ice and lemon with that? A Justice, thanks. How much is that? They can't be at home because they're paying for the drink. 2. What are they talking about? A TV? A mobile phone? A laptop? They could be in a restaurant, but... They must be in... 3. What do you think she's talking about? An exam? A job interview? A doctor's appointment? 4. Who are the people talking? 2 friends. Husband and wife. Brother and sister. What are they talking about? A birthday present? A wedding present? An anniversary present? 5. What do you think is happening? A driving test? A driving lesson? A car journey? What went wrong? Must have been, can't have been. 110.4 Rick is calling Alex. Read and listen to his side of the conversation. What is it about? Alex, you're back. Did you and Hannah have a good time? A. Really? What on earth happened? A. I bet you were furious with her. That's the one thing you do need to travel these days. Did you go back to get it? A. By 4 hours. Question mark. That's a long time. Were things okay when you finally took off? A. I know, my poor sister. Turbulence can be really scary. Hannah must have been terrified. So, did things get better when you landed? A. You poor things. No sleep after that nightmare journey. Didn't you complain? 3 o'clock. Question mark. Were things any better the next day? A. So. Even the weather was awful. Sorry, Alex. But Leah and I were much luckier in Spain. We had cloudless skies every day. A. What? No sun at all, just wind and rain. Question mark. A. You're kidding. You must have been so glad to get home and go back to work. 2. Work with a partner. Try to work out Alex's side of the conversation. Read the questions. Discuss and tick. Check mark. What do you think is the most likely answer? 1. What is the relationship between Rick and Alex? They could be brothers. They must be brothers-in-law. 2. Where have Alex and Hannah been? They must have been on holiday abroad. They might have been on holiday in Scotland. 3. Why was Alex furious? He may have forgotten his passport. Hannah could have forgotten her passport. 4. What was wrong with the journey? The flight must have been delayed. They might have missed their flight. 5. Why is Rick sorry for Hannah? She must be afraid of flying. She could have been sick on the flight. 6. What was wrong when they arrived? Their hotel room may not have been ready. They can't have liked their room. 7. Were Alex and Hannah in Spain? They can't have been in Spain. They could have been in Spain. 8. What was the weather like? There may have been a hurricane nearby. It can't have rained every day. What do you think? 3. Go through the questions and tell the class what you think. We think Alex and Rick must be brothers-in-law. 410.5 Listen to the full conversation and check your answers. Grammar spot. 1. These sentences express past possibility. Change them to express present possibility. They must have been on holiday. We might have missed our flight. They can't have been in Spain. 2. What is the past of these sentences? There must be a delay. He might tell her. 3. Remember must also expresses obligation. What is the past of these sentences? I must renew my passport. We must get a visa. Grammar reference 10.3. Practice. P 152. Grammar and pronunciation. 110.6 Match the phonemic script with the words. Listen and repeat. How is have pronounced? Might have. MSTV. Could have. Car. NTV. Can't have. Could EV. May have. Might EV. MAJV. Must have. 210.7 Listen and repeat the sentences. Chorus the lines as a class. You must have been worried. I can't have lost it. It could have been stolen. I might have dropped it. She may have found it. Grammar and speaking. Due must EV been worried, our car. NTV lost it, it could EV been stolen, I might EV dropped it, Fimer JV found it. 3. Write the responses to these lines using the words in brackets. 1. I can't find my ticket. Opening parenthesis. Must, drop. You must have dropped it. 2. John didn't come to school yesterday. Opening parenthesis. Must, ill. 3. Why is Isabel late for class? Single quote opening parenthesis. Might, oversleep. 4. I can't find my notebook. Opening parenthesis. Must, leave at home. 5. The teacher's checking Maria's exercise. Opening parenthesis. Can't, finish already. 6. Why is Carl looking so happy? Single quote opening parenthesis. May, do well in the test. 4. Work with a partner. Take turns to read the lines and respond. Pay attention to the pronunciation of have. Discussing grammar. 5. How many of these modal verbs can you fit naturally into each sentence? Discuss as a class. What are the different meanings? Can, can't, could, must, might, may, shall, should. 1. He. 2. 3. You. 4. 5. You. 6. I. Have been born in the 1960s. You help me with the washing up, please. See the doctor immediately. We go out for a meal tonight. Do more exercise. Learn to speak English. Spoken English. What on earth? Dot. Dot. Question mark. 1. Questions with. Dot. Dot. On earth. Dot. Dot. Question mark. Are often used in spoken English to express disbelief. What on earth has happened? How on earth could that have happened? Where on earth have you been? 10.8 Listen and repeat. Pay attention to the stress and intonation. 2. Work with a partner. Read the statements aloud and respond with disbelief. I can't carry all these shopping bags. What? Dot. Dot. Question mark. B. Tom's broken his arm in 3 places. How? Dot. Dot. Question mark. There's someone at the door. Who? Dot. Dot. At this time of night? D. My aunt left all her money to a cat's home. Why? Dot. Dot. Question mark. E. I can't find my car keys. Where? Dot. Dot. Question mark. 10.9 Listen and check. Practice again. Reading and speaking. Why on earth would anyone do that? 1. Read the advert from the Japanese travel agency Circa Travel. What is a solo wedding? Why does the advert say you might want such a wedding? Circa Travel offers solo weddings in Kyoto, Japan. Luxurious weddings in kimono or dress plus location photo shoot. You are single, and you don't know if you will get married and have a wedding ceremony in the near future. However, you would like to have some pictures of yourself now in a wedding gown, or in a gorgeous bridal kimono, while you are young and beautiful. Experience the feeling of being a princess for a day in the beautiful city of Kyoto. 2. Look at the photos and the title of the article. Explain the phrase, everything but the groom. 310.10 The American photographer, Naomi Harris, has decided to experience a solo wedding. Read and listen to the introduction. Why can't she be stood up at the altar? Why do you think she wants a solo wedding? It could be for her work. She might want to wear a beautiful dress. 4. Read a growing trend. Answer the questions. 1. What did Naomi, forget to do? Why? 2. How do you know that she was surprised when her boyfriend broke up with her? 3. Why did living in New York not help her marriage prospects? 4. What other reason does she give for not being married? 5. Could her reasons for not marrying be just excuses? How do you know? My solo wedding. I lie awake in my hotel room in Kyoto, nearly 6,000 miles from home, my stomach in knots. My mind is racing with thoughts of my wedding tomorrow. I take a deep breath and tell myself I don't have anything to worry about. I can't be stood up at the altar because the person I'm marrying is myself. Single quote. A growing trend. The solo wedding is a growing trend in Japan. Like many of the women who use the service, I am a spinster. I'm 42, and while all my friends are married or in long-term relationships, I sort of forgot to do it myself. In my late 20s, I thought I was dating the man I would marry, but he broke up with me abruptly. It was nearly 13 years before I had another relationship. I used to think I was single because I lived in New York City during my 20s and 30s, where single women outnumber single men. Or because I travel so much for my work as a photographer. But I have many friends in New York in the same industry as me who have managed to meet, date, and marry. I've watched them get married, but I never thought I'd have a wedding of my own. Now here I am in Kyoto, awaiting my big day. Getting ready for the big day. Yukiko Inoue has been running Circa Travel for 10 years. She is a 48-year-old divorcee. 2 years ago, her colleague, 37-year-old Natsumi Akai, expressed interest in having her photos taken professionally in a wedding dress, and the idea of the solo wedding was born. Since then, 130 Japanese women have paid 380,000 yen, £2,500, for a 2-day package, including a dress fitting, hair, makeup and a photo shoot. In short, everything except the actual ceremony. I am met by Natsumi at the Ayumi bridal dress shop. Natsumi is tall, slim, and beautiful. She tells me for her, the solo wedding was all about the dress. For Japanese women, the wedding dress is a symbol of being beautiful, Natsumi explains. I, on the other hand, have never fantasized about wearing a wedding dress, and feel slightly nervous as Natsumi leads me into a private fitting room lined with puffy white gowns. But trying one on, I am shocked. I look in the mirror and I can't help catching my breath. I barely recognize the radiant, elegant woman I see. Natsumi smiles. You're a princess. Single quote. In the end, I try on 8 dresses. I end up choosing the first one I tried. Everything but the groom. The big day. In the morning, I wake up for my big day, only to look in the mirror and see that my eye is red and oozy with conjunctivitis. In the hotel lobby, I meet Natsumi, who pretends not to notice. We take a taxi to a fashionable part of town, where we meet wedding stylist Mayumi Hayashi and wedding photographer Yuhino Suzuki. I rarely dress up. In fact, putting a brush through my hair is a big occasion. Mayumi is up for the challenge, though, and places my hair in curlers before beginning to apply my makeup, expertly covering my weeping eye. I put on my dress and look in the mirror. Dot. Dot. The reality is matronly. I look like. Dot. Dot. The queen. We make our way to the Shugakuin Carrara Sanso Japanese garden, where I am photographed getting out of the car, walking in the garden and standing beneath the blossom. I pose for the customary wedding shots. No shots with the groom, sadly. I personally would have liked a fake husband in my photos. There is no actual solo wedding ceremony, which is a shame, because I had imagined promising to love myself for richer, for poorer. But Natsumi says clients are often surprised by the self-confidence they gain from it. Our solo wedding is a celebration of yourself. Many women have given up on getting married, and this makes them realize marriage isn't the only goal in life. Single quote. Back home. Upon my return from Japan, I started dating someone. I wondered if my luck with men would now change. Sadly, this relationship also ended abruptly. Perhaps I'll find someone one day, but I don't need to have a big wedding. I already have my photo album. I am surprised to find that I love showing it off. I happened to meet Oscar-winning actress Marion Cotillard, so I showed her my wedding pictures. It's depressing, she said. These photos are very sad. Single quote. Spinster equals an unmarried woman. Very old-fashioned. 5. Read Getting Ready for the Big Day. Read the summary below. It has 7 mistakes. Correct them. Circa Travel has been run by Natsumi Akai for the last 5 years. Natsumi started the idea of solo weddings because she was stood up by her boyfriend. Over 100 Japanese women have since paid for the experience. Natalie has always dreamed of looking like a princess in a beautiful wedding dress and is excited by the idea of choosing one. She tries one on and is surprised by how lovely she looks. She chooses the 8th one she tries. 6. Read the rest of the article. 1. In what ways was Naomi disappointed by her big day? 2. What was disappointing when she returned home? What was a pleasant surprise? What do you think? Do you agree with Marion Cotillard that the photos are sad? Why not? Why do you think Naomi uses the old-fashioned word, spinster, to describe herself? What is a more modern description? Do you believe a solo wedding could increase self-confidence? Why not? Do you think a man would ever want a solo wedding? Why not? Watch a video about the amazing things the magician, Martin Rees, has done. Listening and speaking. How on earth did he do that? 1. Look at the photos and read about Reg Spears. He says, I just got in the thing and went. What did he get into? Where did he want to go? Why? The man WHO posted himself to Australia. In the mid-1960s, Australian athlete Reg Spears found himself stranded in London with no money to buy a plane ticket home. Desperate to get back in time for his daughter's birthday, he decided to post himself to Australia in a wooden crate. I just got in the thing and went. Single quote. 2. Work in pairs. Read these lines from an interview with Reg and his English friend John on the BBC World Service. Try to work out Reg's remarkable story. 1. He had his wallet pinched. He can't have had enough money for the flight. 2. He worked for Air France in the export cargo section. 3. We thought he was joking. 4. We lined the inside with paper. 5. We made up a company, a fictitious address in London and in Perth. 6. It was about 60 hours in the thing. 7. It's so hot I've taken all my clothes off. 8. She didn't believe me. 10.11 Listen and check your ideas. Plastic emulsion London Perth, Australia. 310.11 Listen again. Are these statements true? Check mark. Or false? X. Question mark. Correct the false ones. 1. Reg and John met at the Commonwealth Games in London. 2. John was surprised by Reg's visit. 3. John refused to build the box for Reg. 4. Reg's family in Australia thought his plan was a joke. 5. Reg had no food, only bottles of drink for the journey. 6. He was strapped into the box. 7. He was frightened because it was pitch black. 8. His wife thought he was very brave. What do you think? Was Reg brave or silly? Were his friends right to help him? Why might it not be as easy to do what Reg did today? Vocabulary. Phrasal verbs without an up. 1. Look at these examples of phrasal verbs from this unit. Replace them with a verb or phrase from the box. Invented, finally chose, calculated, give him a bed, developed. 1. We built up a friendship. 2. I was able to put him up. 3. We made up the name of the company. 4. I worked it out, it was 60 hours in the box. 5. I ended up choosing the first one I tried. 2. Read the dictionary entries for 2 of the phrasal verbs. Answer the questions. 1. How many meanings does each have? 2. What do South and SB stand for? 3. Which of the meanings are separable? Which inseparable? PHRV works South out. 1. To find the answer. To solve South. I can't work out how to do this. 2. To calculate South. Worked out the total cost. Work out. 1. To progress in a good way. I hope things work out for you. 2. To do physical exercise to keep your body fit. We work out to music at my exercise class. PHRV make South up. 1. To invent South. Often South that is not true. To make up an excuse. 2. To form South. The different groups that make up society make up. With SB. To become friends again after an argument. Has she made up with him yet? 3. Complete the sentences with the correct form of a phrasal verb in 2. 1. Help. I can't. 2. That's a lie. You. Didn't you? These instructions. That. 3. I know we argue a lot, but we always kiss. And. Afterwards. 4. Don't worry, things will. End. They always do. 5. I at the gym every day. 6. Women. In the 56% of the students. In this university. 7. Can you this bill for me? I don't understand all those figures. 8. You must have answers by now. The 4. Many more phrasal verbs are formed without an up. Match a verb in A with a line in B. A. Find out. Eat up, eat out. Save up. Sort out. Take up. Fall out with. Come up with. B. My problems in life. Golf. What time the meeting starts. Your boyfriend. A good idea. In a Chinese restaurant. To buy a new car. All your greens and you'll be healthy. 5. Replace the words in italics with one of the phrasal verbs from 4 in the correct form. 1. You need to learn to relax. Why don't you start doing yoga? 2. He's just thought of a brilliant plan to save the business. 3. There's no dessert until you've finished all your meat and vegetables. 4. Lily isn't talking to Sam. She must have had an argument with him. 5. I need an accountant to help solve my financial difficulties. 6. We aren't spending much money so we can buy a house. 7. Have you discovered why you didn't get the job? 8. I don't feel like cooking. Shall we go to a restaurant tonight? 6. Work with a partner. Complete these sentences in any suitable way. Read them aloud to the class and compare ideas. 1. I've just found out. ... 2. I don't ever fall out with. ... 3. I can't work out. ... 4. I'm saving up. ... 5. I need to sort out. ... 6. I've just come up with. ... 7. I'm going to take up. Dot. Dot. 8. It's important to make up. Dot. Dot. 10.12 Listen and compare. What are the responses? Everyday English expressing attitude. 110.13 Read and listen to the conversation. Who are the people? What are they talking about? Have you read about this girl? Single quote. Have you read about this girl? B. Which girl? A. An American girl. Apparently, she's just had. B. Our solo wedding. Our solo wedding. What on earth is that? A. Well, incredibly, it means you get married all. B. By yourself. You're kidding. Do you mean there's no groom, no husband? A. Exactly. B. Where was this? I bet it was in California. A. No, it wasn't. In fact, it was in Japan, in Kyoto. Apparently solo weddings are becoming quite popular there. B. Really? Question mark. Why? Surely, it's a really sad thing to do. Absolutely, I agree. But it says here some girls just enjoy dressing up and being a princess for the day. B. Oh dear. Presumably, these girls don't have boyfriends. Obviously not. I don't think any boyfriend would like the idea. B. Well, personally, I think the whole thing is silly. A. I know. And anyway, I like the way we got married. It was good fun. Dot. Dot. B. Yeah, it was. Dot. Dot. And romantic. Why did the American girl do it? She's a photographer and a journalist. She must have just wanted the story. B. Of course. And it's a good one. 210.13 Read and listen to the conversation again. The words in bold express the attitude of the speaker. Practice it with a partner. 3. Complete the sentences with your own ideas. 1. Hi. You're Pete, aren't you? Actually. Dot. 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 2. What did you think of the film? Great, wasn't it? Personally. Dot. 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 3. What's the latest gossip about Kate and her boyfriend? Single quote. Apparently. Dot. 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 4. What's the weather like in spring? Generally. Dot. 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 5. What time will we arrive? Hopefully. Dot. 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 6. I've phoned and left messages for them, but no reply. Presumably. Dot. 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 7. What did you do when you saw the accident? Obviously. Dot. 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 8. How did you feel when they offered you the job? Single quote. To be honest. Dot. 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 10.14 Listen and compare your answers. Practice with your partner and continue the conversations. Writing a story. 2. Organizing a text. 1. What do you know about the sinking of the Titanic? It was a huge passenger ship that hit an iceberg. There was a film about it starring Leonardo DiCaprio. 2. Work with a partner. Look at the pictures and tell the story in your own words. Read text A and match sentences from it with the pictures. Text A. The unsinkable Titanic, 1912. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic left Southampton on her way to New York. There were many rich passengers on board. Everyone believed the ship was unsinkable, so she didn't have many lifeboats. On the night of April 14th, the passengers were having dinner and listening to the band. The Titanic was traveling fast because the owner wanted his ship to beat the record for crossing the Atlantic. Some ships nearby warned of icebergs, but the messages were not delivered. A lookout sounded the alarm, but it was too late. The Titanic hit an iceberg and the ship sank quickly. The band played until it sank. The lifeboats only saved some of the people. Most of them died in the sea. People today are still interested in the Titanic. The film, Titanic, was very popular. 3. Now read text B. Compare it with text A. Which is the more interesting text? Why? Give some examples. Text B. The Unsinkable Titanic, 1912. On April 10, 1912, the liner Titanic left Southampton on her maiden voyage to New York. Amongst her passengers were some of the world's wealthiest people. The ship was believed to be unsinkable, so she carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for only half her 2,235 passengers and crew. On the evening of April 14, there was no wind and the sea was calm. The band were playing as the rich enjoyed their evening meal in the luxurious dining room. At 9:40 p.m., nearby ships warned of icebergs. However, the messages were not delivered. The owner of the ship was on board, encouraging the captain to go faster to beat the record for crossing the Atlantic. Finally, a lookout on the bridge sounded the alarm, but it was too late. At 11:40 p.m., the Titanic struck an iceberg. Passengers carried on dining. After all, this ship was unsinkable. In fact, the ship was sinking fast, but it was not until nearly 12:45 that the first lifeboat was lowered. At 2:20 a.m., the ship sank, just 2 hours and 40 minutes after hitting the iceberg. Only 713 people survived. The remaining 1,522 all drowned in the dark waters of the Atlantic. These included most of the men and third-class passengers, the crew, and all of the band. Amazingly, they had kept playing until the ship disappeared beneath the waves. The ship sank over 100 years ago, but interest in the Titanic continues. Titanic, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, is the most watched film in movie history. Incredibly, in 1985, the wreck itself was discovered and photographed on the seabed. April 10, 1912. Warning: Southampton. Icebergs. Sigma faster. 2, 3. Iceberg ahead. 5, 6. 4. Go through the texts again and discuss the differences in language used. Consider the following. What is the aim of the 3 paragraphs? How are the sentences in text B made more interesting? Which adjectives and adverbs are used? 5. Do you know the story of the Trojan horse? Look at the pictures on P157. Work with your partner and discuss how to write the story. Go online for more writing practice.